Hello everyone and welcome back to another lesson on Microsoft Excel. In this lesson we're going to learn about keyword shortcuts. Now keyboard shortcuts are really useful for many people. There are a lot of people people basically who have wrist injury and other dysfunctions. They can actually use keyboard shortcuts, and in general it's a good practice to use keyboard shortcuts because it gives you a bit of a shortcut for any type of key that is available on Microsoft Excel. So let's go over to Microsoft Excel and take a look at these shortcuts. Alright, so I am back on Microsoft Excel, and here we have our start screen right over here, and we have to select a blank workbook. Now, I already showed you how you can actually select a blank workbook. You can just simply click on this blank workbook right over here and it will just open up. Okay, so once you click on it, you can see that it opens up. Now, there is another way you can actually open this up. Let me just go ahead and close this. So once I've closed it, I'm going to go back to the start screen, and from here I'm going to open up a new workbook. Okay, so to do that, just click on Ctrl+N. And you can see that it's telling us that if you want to create a new workbook, you're gonna have to press on this blank workbook right over here. So I'm just gonna press on it, and you can see that we have our blank workbook. Now you might be wondering, yeah, we can open a blank workbook using that keyword shortcut, but how do we actually close it? Now closing it is very easy as well. If you just use your Ctrl+W, you can see the whole sheet has been closed, and now we have only the Excel opened up. Alright, so this is not a blank workbook. This is actually Excel while it's in its home screen right over here, but it has no workbook functions or any type of sheets or cells available. Okay, now to get a new blank document, just click on Ctrl+N, and you can see that we have our new blank document opened up right over here. And in our blank document, you can see that we have a fresh new interface that we can apply our formats or apply our elements to. Okay, so right away you can see that there are a lot of functions that are happening over here. Like we have the home ribbon right over here, we have this insert ribbon, we have page layout, formulas, and other data as well. So right over here, every single ribbon and every single function right over here has its own shortcut key. Like for instance, if I go to home, and you can see if I roam over cut, you can see that in the screen tips it says cut, and in the bracket it says Ctrl+X, which means if I select Ctrl+X, then the whole element would be cut. Okay, so let me give you an example of this function. For instance, I'm going to select a cell, which is, let's select H7. Now if I select H7 from over here, you can see in our cell reference box or name box, you can see it says H7 because we selected this H column and this row is 7, right? So now here I'm going to enter an element or a format. Let's say I want to add 1000. All right. Okay, once I've added this, I'm just going to select another cell so that it gets fit in. So if I select back, you can see we have this cell. Now notice if I press on Ctrl+B, you can see that my element or my number that I've just typed in has turned into bold. Okay, and also if I click on Ctrl+I, it will be turned into italic. Now if you guys notice over on your ribbon, you can see that bold and I or italic has been selected. Now I've selected them with using my keyboard, right? Now notice another thing, that I'm going to select this U option right over here as well. Now to do that, you can see it says Ctrl+U. So I'm just gonna press on Ctrl+U, and it's gonna give me an underline on my element right over here. Okay, and you can see that U or underline has been selected as well from our ribbon here. Okay, so from here you can understand how you can use the keyboard shortcuts very easily. Now if you want to deselect every single one of them, it's pretty easy. You can just go ahead and click on Control plus Z, and now you can see that the underline is gone. Now if I click on Control plus Z again, you can see the italic format is also gone. Same goes for the bold format as well. If I click on Control plus Z again, you can see that the bold format has been taken away as well. And we have every single format right over here unselected now. Alright? So that's how you select and deselect formats very easily. Okay? Now another thing that is worth mentioning is that if you are in a Macintosh or you're using an Apple product, then the control button wouldn't be there. Instead, you're gonna have to use the command button. If you want to make an element bold, then you're gonna have to press on Control or Command plus bold, and then Command plus italic or Command plus U to make it underline. Okay? So just keep that in mind. If you are using a Macintosh or any Apple products, don't get confused. Just use the command button and then use your commands as well. Alright? So that is the way you can actually use your keyboard shortcuts. Alright? Now another command that I want to show you is the cut command. Okay? Now the cut command is really useful as well. For instance, if you want to cut, if you're a basic user of Microsoft, you already know what cut does. It actually cuts your text and then pastes it in another place wherever you want to paste it, right? Now, for instance, if you want to cut this element right over here, what are you going to do here is you're going to use the Control plus X, because that is the command or keyboard shortcut for cutting your elements. For instance, if I go and hover over cut, in the screen tips, it says cut, and in the bracket, it says Control plus X. Okay, so if I use the Control plus X, let's press Control plus X. Now you can see there are some ants running over the box, right? Now these are indication that this box has been selected, or this cell has been selected for further use. So for instance, I want to cut this. Okay, so I've already cut this, and now I want to paste this in, let's say, M5 right over here, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and press on Control plus V, or if you're using a Mac, then Command plus V. So I'm just gonna press on Control plus V, and you can see it's already cut and it's already pasted. Now another thing is I'm going to cut this again, Control plus X, and if I go over to this home button right over here in the clipboard, you'll find in the right side a diagonal arrow key. Okay, so if I'm just gonna click on it, you can see that the clipboard opens up, and we have this element right over here, which is called 1000, which is the same one that we just cut right over here right now, right? It's already cut, and now if I want to paste this, let's say if I want to paste this right over here, just click on Control plus V. Alright, so it's already pasted, but it's already recorded on our clipboard right over here. You can see that 1000 has been recorded. Now if I want, I can delete this, or I can paste this again. Okay, it's all up to me. So I'm just gonna go ahead, let's say if I want to copy and paste it, then in that case I don't have to delete this one. So let's say I want to copy it, just press on Control plus C. You can see we have our ant running, and here I want to paste this in H9. Just click on Control plus V, and it's already pasted. Now you might notice that the ants running over my cells is not going away. It's already copied and it's already selected. Now to do that, you're just gonna click on Escape, and you can see it's all gone. Okay, the only reason this one is selected is because I selected it. Now if I want to get this border away from this cell as well, I'm just gonna have to click on any other cell, and you can see we have our simple borders right over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at some more options. To do that, I'm going to have to get some data onto my workbook, and to do that, I'm just gonna go over to my recently opened files. Now there's another shortcut for this as well. So you're gonna go over to your Control button and then click on Control plus O, and here it's gonna take you to your recently opened files. Okay, and in my recently opened files, I have this mock data right over here that I created by myself. So I'm just going to click on this mark data, and it's going to bring me a lot of data that I created right over here. Okay, now from here you can see I have all of these data available, and we have all of these names as well, but I have a cell selected right over here which is A1. Okay, and it says ID. Okay, now for instance, you can take a look here. I have a lot of data going on over here, and it's really difficult for me to get around all of these data. Now for instance, if I want to go down and into the last cell, I can do that by just clicking on Control plus down arrow, and you can see that it immediately takes me right to the last cell that I have in my workbook right over here. Now same process, if you want to go back, you're just gonna have to just click on Control plus up arrow, and it's gonna take you back to the place that you started back. Okay, now for instance, if I use my arrow buttons, you can see I can just hover around just like that. Okay, now for instance, I want to go instantly to this IP address row right over here. To do that, I'm just gonna go over and press on Control plus the right arrow, and you can see that it takes me to the far right and takes me to the last one into the right row right over here. Okay, so now I want to go back. To do that, I'm just gonna go over, press on Control and press on the left arrow, and it's gonna take me back again. Alright, so that is how you use your arrow keys. Okay, so another way that you can use your shortcuts, or if you want to use random shortcuts, is to just press on your Alt button. Now take a look at what happens if I press on Alt. You can see that every single, not every single, but most of my commands that are shortcut available have been assigned different shortcut keys that I can use right now. Okay, so for instance, if I want to, let's say, you can see here the paste option has F, the cut has H, and insert has N, and page layout has P. Now for instance, I want to go to insert. I'm just gonna press on N, and it's gonna take me to the insert. And once it's taken me to the insert, I'm gonna press on Alt again, and you can see I have my shortcuts again here. Okay, now for instance, I want to add a shape. Let's say I want to add a shape. Sorry about that. Let's go back to insert. I'm just gonna select this cell right over here. We're just gonna come back right over here, and now let's press on Alt. So if I press on M, you can see it takes me to the formulas. That's because the M button wasn't assigned to the shapes. Now if I go back right over here into insert and press on Alt again, you can see that the M button is actually assigned to formulas. That's why it wasn't working. But the shapes, I don't have any shapes that are assigned any keyboard shortcuts, so I'm gonna have to use this manually. Okay, so if I click on it, and if I want to add a shape, I can just select a shape and it will be added. Okay, so if it's not added, you can just go ahead and select icons as well. So you can see that I'm having some network issues, so the icons are not available right now. So let's go ahead and add pictures. Now to add pictures, if I click on Alter again, you can see that in pictures I don't have any shortcut key available. So I'm just gonna select the pictures manually. And if I want to add pictures, I can select this device, and I can add any pictures that I want from my downloads right over here. Now if I want to add this one, click on insert, you can see that this picture has been added. Now you can take a look over here that if you use your arrow keys from your keyboard, you can actually move your image from one place to another. Now it's pretty slow, but it actually works like that. So if you're not feeling using your, if you don't feel like using your mouse, you can eventually use your keyboards as well. Okay, so I'm just going to select this one right over here. I'm just gonna click on delete, and it's gonna just go away. You just need to click on delete and it's gonna go away on its own. Okay, and you can also see that I have this clipboard right over here. If I want, I can just delete this number and I can just click out of this clipboard like that. Okay, so those were the shortcuts. Now another way you can look for shortcuts is to go to the search button, and you can just click on help, and if you click on help, you'll find this pane right over here. Now depending on your network service, if you're facing this type of connection problem, then you can't actually do anything about it. So I'm just gonna click on it like this. I'm just gonna close it. So those were basically your keyboard shortcuts that you can use very easily and very conveniently as well. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys learned something, and if you have any problem, you can contact us anytime. We're always here to help you guys. And with this, I'm going to end this lesson, and I'm going to see you guys in another lesson. Okay.